Fed me, he put me into bed. Like, no, don't take me. Outside of the house in the caravan. So, very nice and cozy plan. You bought me lunch, dinner, the snacks in between. And your father-in-law cooked for me. So, that's very, very, very nice. Please give him this much.
This isn't about me, I'm not about to stand up here. No, I have spent the last week with Chris, and a genuine good guy. He's devoted to the hobby, has a complete wealth of knowledge, and we are only tapping into like the nth degree of how much this man knows. He's travelled the world all over. I'm looking forward to a trip to Brazil with Chris in November, so it's going to be amazing. Can you please put your hands together for Chris Lukhaup?
I want to thank also the rest of the members that invited me, that have been so brave to bring me here to this wild city. I've been in the jungle yesterday, and that's why my fingernails are still dirty. I was digging up crayfish. My friend there, we went crazy. It was heavy raining, it was cold. I thought I'd come to Australia, but I went to like Scandinavia in a way. I'm not used to that. You never told me that it's cold here, Brad. Why did you tell me?
It wasn't before you.
I bring just t-shirt and short pants, and now I suffered it. But you know, we learn from suffering. So yeah, so let's go into it. We waited a lot. I mean, now we're already 15 times over. I'm German. Usually I start punctual. But thanks a lot for your taking me into your house or in the garden. Yeah. So I want to show you a couple of places that I enjoyed a lot over the last years. And here we have Brazil. So we will go with Brett there also. And here the water is so clear because it's spring-fed. And look at the plants. They have this height, the Echinodorus. We know it from the aquarium shops. This is an introduced plant, Illinoisensis. But the places, and Brazil is, we have the caimans there, we have the jaguars there, we have, it's nearly as dangerous as Australia. Here everything kills you. There you have just four things: anacondas, jaguars, crazy people, and what did I say? The caimans, exactly. But here, even trees can kill you, nevertheless. So let's go back to Brazil. But while you snorkel here, in this area, 273 species of freshwater shrimp. Fish. I'm too much into shrimp, too much shrimp talking. So many tetras, different kind of, like everything, catfish. And this is another spring. And look at the density of fish. You see the pacus here, you see the tetras. Piratapunga is the one with the red tail. And I felt like I'm in an aquarium, and the water is not so cold there like where we have been, right? But beautiful mosses. Look at the species. In Brazil, you have about 8,000 species of fish. 8,000.
Oh my God.
In South America, but Brazil has most of them. Florida is another destination. They have also not that great crocodiles there. They have the alligators. So always when you snorkel there, they call them swamp puppies. It's a bit, I'm always a little bit careful with this. But look at this spring. It's called Naked Springs. Yeah, that's the name, Naked Springs. There you have the Lipomis. That's the genus Lipomis, the sunfish. The density of fish is not like in Brazil. But they have also crayfish here, they have shrimp there, they have turtles there. So it's interesting to snorkel there a little bit. And I'm always allowed to go in, even if it's closed for public. They cannot swim there anymore. They allow me to always check for the spring because I did it the last 15 years. I go there a lot. Look, that morning, 300 turtles in the pond. 300. And the elodea that you see there usually is up high, and they come to mate the turtles. And when they leave, elodea is on the ground. They eat everything.
Wow.
This is Ichetakni Springs, and again, Lipomis there. And we have also the bass that is great for fishing. They fish for this fish. And this guy was just sitting there very relaxed. I could even take him in my hand, and he didn't swim away. But then, like an arrow, he was gone. It's a pike. And of course, crayfish. You see, yeah, exactly. You have much more beautiful crayfish. Next place, Colombia. Ever been to Colombia? The good thing is, in Colombia, the water has 29 degrees Celsius. So you can just sit there and feel like, oh, it's like a massage to the body. Look at this place. The only problem, it was controlled by the FARC, very left-wing organization. And good thing is, yo hablo español también. So if you speak Spanish too, they probably leave you alone. But if you look like a gringo like this guy, they will kidnap you and ask, no, for you not that much money, but for him, they will ask a lot of money. And here we have this plant, I have to stop it, it's Macarena clavigera. It's a freshwater plant. Brett, you should breed it, you will be a millionaire. Let me tell you about this plant. You know why it is so red? What do you think? Here we have an Austrian friend from Europe. He came to support me.
A wild guess, maybe iron content?
No. It's the sunlight. It's the sun that in Colombia is super intense. And I thought, I'm a brownie guy. I mean, look at me. And I thought I don't need all this sunscreen and stuff. After half an hour, I was grilled. And I had pain. So that's why the sun is so intense there that the plants get really, really pink red. And that's just amazing. That's Macarena clavigera. And the plant can be up to 1.50 meters. And I tried to take it with me because I thought, bring it home to Denele. I work for Denele. I will bring it home. In other places, you have them because there's a lot of shadow there. The plant can have many colors. So that's why here, where there's trees, the plant is not that powerful, pinky. You would like it. The girl with the, that would be your plant. And this is Aquariums because we have fish people too. I thought I'd show you some fish. I felt bad just showing you shrimp and the fish guy here. So come on. So, you know the fish that you see here? Nanostomus. And I was thinking, look at this guy. He was like in front of me, and I thought, why he is not leaving the place? Because I'm a big predator. He should have some respect. Leave. No, because you know why? Look, he has the eggs on that leaf, and he's trying to protect them, the family. Oh, exactly. That's what I just found out on the video. I didn't see it because I was underwater filming. So why is he not going? What is he doing? And then I learned about that the fish tried to protect his family. So this Aquariums took the leaf, the male, and dragged it piece by piece away. So now when I'm stepping into a river, I'm very careful where I step because it could be someone's family.
Wow.
29 degrees. I can tell you can sit there and just enjoy the water scenery. That's Nanostomus up there. And this is the same plant. But in this place, it's very green. Guess why?
Less light.
No sunlight. Exactly. And it's fast flowing. And I took it I put a red piece of plant in a bottle. You see? It's maybe 1 hour in the day it has full sunlight. And that is not enough to make the plant red. So I took this plant. I thought, I will have something to show to Denele. I put a really nice one. It took me energy to put it out because it was so fixed on the rock that I needed really to put some power there. And I put it in a bottle with water, and I put it in my bag for 3 days. You know what? From pink, 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 it turned green. In 3 days. And I was like, this is a scam. I will put it back. You know, I even bribed the guy. Usually I don't do that, but in Colombia, it's like really, the FARC are there, and you see military every couple of meters because they want to protect guys like me, because they need tourism, you know, ecotourism and all that. I was one of the first who went there after they opened it. I could see military in every bush. I said, I see you guys. If I see you, the other guys will see you too. So, but there was a lot of military presence. So that is the story, but it's a beautiful habitat, and Colombia has a lot of, yes sir?
Is that the species of plant that gives the Rainbow River its name? I've seen it on...
Yes, it's called Cristales, that's the place. It's the river of 5 colors. And that gives us, in fact, the name. And you know what? I called the guy in Colombia and said, what kind of species you have in that river? I wanted to know, because I wanted to be prepared. And they told me there's no fish. I said, what? 7 species of fish. And I even found a new shrimp species, a Macrobrachium there. So you cannot rely on what the Colombians say. When it's about drugs, maybe, but but I would not say it so loud. I'm not involved in these kind of things. I want to go out of Australia tomorrow. So, yeah. Next place, Sulawesi. Beautiful, and if you have shrimp, you probably know this place, right? This is like what, for me, natural aquascaping looks like. Oh. Look at that. Only problem, they also have the crocodiles that you have here in Australia, and they are like 5-6 meters long. And I was snorkeling here, and suddenly I heard a guy, he was screaming at me, "Buaya! Buaya!" And I thought that means hello in Indonesian. And in Bahasa back then I didn't speak, I didn't know what buaya was. So there was crocodiles there. So I jumped from the water directly in the boat because I was like, what? And he came to me, the guy, and he had an old Nokia cell phone, like a really old one. But he took a picture of a crocodile and he explained that in this place, the night before, they had a 5-meter croc. So we should go out of the water. And later, I saw them. And then I said, okay, that's because you don't joke with crocodiles, right? You know it. So, but they have beautiful shrimp there. There's some fantastic shrimp in lake. You know this species? They look like marine water, like. And this is Cardina voltareke. Just that you know, the one before was named after Dennerly. They sponsored the trip to Sulawesi. So if you want to have a species named after you, let me see who is rich. Everybody's like, if you want to have a species named after you, you can bribe me. And you know that I already named a couple of species, even after a guy from Australia. Did you know that? Not you, Brad. Did you know that?
Who?
It's Kerax Assange. It's after Julian Assange. So now you know where I am politically. Always like, no. Good that I didn't name it after Putin or Trump. I mean, come on, be happy. It's one of your citizens. But look at these rocks, and it's full with snails, and they have beautiful snails, beautiful colors. You are taking this for the internet. In the next, you know what? When I named it after Edward Snowden, I named the species after Edward Snowden too. And that was a problem when I came into the US. They asked me, they waited when I came out of the airplane, like in the first called me. And Mauritius, we know that there's species there. Look at this one. And you see that blue? It's like the blue balls. And this is very, very rare, that you see a species that has this kind of blue. It's a new species. We knew that some species are described, but they have never been photographed in Mauritius, never been filmed. We know about 6 species of Mauritius, but I found way more than 6 species there. And just in this place have been 2 species. Maybe even 3. We don't know yet. Germany, yes. Also, we have some nice spots. And this is just behind my house. So I live in a forest in Rhineland-Palatine, and we have, of course, the Physidens, which in the past was a moss to cure different sickness. Did you know that this is a plant that you can cure fever? Yeah, the Physidens mosses. But also here, it's super cold. So not only Australia and New Zealand have new places, we have them in Europe too. This plant is introduced, it's Elevea. I found it all over the planet, even in New Zealand, and I don't know how it got there. We have just some crayfish in there, some native crayfish, and some trout. But that's about it. In these creeks, not too many fish species. This is a place I need to go. This is the only place that's still on my list. I've been to all other places that I wanted to see, And I have this from a friend of mine who lives in Congo, but Congo is dangerous. So I always push it from one year to another, but look at this.
Wow.
It's clearer than Malawi. And it's warmer also than the other creeks that I've been. So beautiful plants, Lukhaup, and a lot of cichlids there. So for the cichlid people, this is something, and no crocodiles here. Yeah, we should go. I even don't know exactly what that plant is. I'm not sure. This could be some kind of Sagittaria, maybe? Any one of you knows? But this is for me natural aquascaping. This is like inspiration pure for making, you know, it's nice to have these little trees and bonsai trees and this and that, but I prefer to look at these things to get inspired. And here, Anubias grows in the sand. They always told us Anubias just grows on rocks and on wood. Here it grows on rocks and wood, but it also grows in the sand. And that's the weird thing, that you can put it in the ground and it works as well.
Yay.
What is this?
G'day, mate. You're a bloody drongo if you get in here. If Jack's crackers will freeze off, and we'll have to send you back home without them.
That's going to go far.
And you know what? We found some shrimp here. And also this guy, we wanted to eat him, but he said no. But the shrimpies and little tiny snails. So I would be very thankful to find out exactly what it is, because I have not found information on that. What shrimps are in there? What snails are in there? Maybe it's parataya, but I'm not sure. But it was not that cold as I thought. But we will make a nice movie about it and make a little documentary with Brett. We will do it together. And then you dive just into
You're going to need a surgeon to remove your testicles from your tonsils if you get in here.
beautiful red plant there. I have no idea what it is. I have to do some research. I did it just quick to have a little laugh with him. Yeah. And you know this species, right? Galaxias, right?
There's two species there.
What? Two species?
Yeah.
Good, I'm done.
Oh, hang on. Were they quite small? How big were they? About that? Sorry, I thought maybe at the bottom they were Cretaceous, but they're probably Immaculatus.
You will tell me, let me then know.
Yeah.
So now we go to the shrimp, enough of fish pond, enough of clear water. I hope this thing works here, otherwise I will be giving it away for free, this computer, if it doesn't work. Yeah, freshwater invertebrates. I mean, I'm just starting to learn about fish, because I love to go now to Brazil all the time, and Brett will go with me. But freshwater invertebrates are my thing, and especially crayfish. I love crayfish. I love shrimp a lot. I love snails. All that what is eatable in the river. So let's put it on. There we go. Of course, shrimp are very successful because they are colorful, they are little, they fit in nano aquariums. You can have like little worlds that you create. I had at one moment I had like 20 little nano aquariums with different shrimp. Every of these nano aquarium was differently designed. And of course, when I started with this in the 90s with the shrimp, we had the cichlid guys, the betta people, the catfish guys, and suddenly came a new group in. And you know what? 50% in this group, women. And I remember Heike Blair gave a talk, and just guys 50 plus. I'm 50 plus too, but in that group just guys 50 plus. And then the shrimp people came in. It was all young people back then. Now they're old too, like me. But back then, it was like, Heiko was like, what's going on? You know? So what happens with all these women? But the shrimpies, you know, they love shrimp, so that, you love shrimp? You see? Soon we will have pink ones. He's working on, where are you? Connor, where is he? There, he's working on pink shrimp, so soon we will have the shrimp matching to your hair color. Wild type, of course, it started. I have to start this thing. It doesn't go from alone. So in the 90s, when it started, we had already some shrimp in the hobby, the Cardina logemani. Back then, it didn't have a name. It was not scientifically described. I need water. But these are all wild type. They are not breeding forms. You see here, Trifasciata looks similar to the logemani. Then this is the second volume. The tiger shrimp, different Cardina mariae, very dependent on the location. The Serrata, aura blue. These are still undescribed, the one with the stripes. The galaxy, there's so many, and that was the latest one, the blue point, beautiful shrimp, tiny little species, very nicely colored. And here also we have Paracardina. So it's not only Cardina and Neocardina, we have also Paracardina. And in Madagascar, Paricia and others more. There's so many genera of freshwater shrimp all around the planet. So they are also very nice, but I feel that in the last times, the bred shrimp, they took over. And these, right, Connor? You have to struggle to find nice wild type, camouflage. It's for me. Thank you very much. It's water. I'm not drinking coffee, but it's just pure Australian Beyond Pond water. We filled up some liters to bring home. Yeah. So these, and many of them still undescribed. So in Australia, I understood that there's not that many wild type species. How many wild types do you have? 4? Yeah. And that's not too much, but you have to struggle to get them in, right? So I find them personally beautiful. Who of you actually has shrimp? Raise your hand. Oh, it's so nice. Let me take a photo. Hang on. Well, I mean, you can raise your hand or make this. For me, it's the same. Let me see. Wow! I will put this in a magazine, in a shrimp magazine in Germany, and tell them, look at these guys, huh? That's so nice. So we have the Caridina, of course. They developed so many colors that I was trying in Breeders and Keepers magazine. You remember that magazine? I was trying to put them in different groups. Like I was having a table there in the magazines to have a grading of the shrimp. I gave it up because after the third volume, they exploded. It was like, oh, I cannot go there. You have your cell phone there. You have to be careful. Okay, so the shrimp in the Cardina group, they really exploded. We have meanwhile so many. I think I counted about 160, 170 different types, and it's still going. You know why the trend is so successful? It was when you have been there. The Malawis have been big, true? Yeah. Exactly. And why did the Malawis not continue to be so great? I mean, they're still great, but there was a point in the 2000s when Malawi was stopping. Why? Because they didn't bring any new stuff in. Because in the 90s, always new things came in. The hobby was excited, always new stuff. But then they didn't bring any new fish in. And with the shrimp, the reason why it's so exciting is because they always bring new stuff in, right? Something exciting is happening. So Caridina, a lot of new types, I will show you some. But before of that, I will just tell you a little bit that you understand how a shrimp look close up, so you understand how they function. And here we have, I would say, the head of a shrimp. And you see, there's the brain, very little, stomach very big, similar to... No, that's not.
Someone's not coming back from Brazil.
I was just thinking that I sleep in his house. How do I get home? You have to bring me to his place because he will not. Yeah, that's amazing. Share your hotel room. I don't know about that. But look at this. Here's the stomach. Yeah, and usually this looks like a brain, right? And then you have the ovary, and this lady is developing some cojones. Or what did you say before the video? The
Jets crackers.
Yes, exactly. The Jets crackers. What? The Americans will ask me, who is this guy? What is he talking about? But here you can see the ovary. So just remember this. So there you also see if the lady will have babies, you know, when you see these spots there. And this is the face of a shrimp. And here, one thing to ID shrimps or to catalog them or to identify them is the rostrum. That's the nose here. And depending on the spines that it has or the form, you go after that first. This is the first thing I'm looking at, and then the rest of the things. But the rostrum is very important to ID shrimp. This one, obviously not, because it's bred, but in a wild. Sir?
What
I come. Wait for the microphone, otherwise you have to scream. I come. I'm slow and I'm old.
What lens did you use to take this particular photo?
I think that was an old Nokia, you know, the one that you... No, actually, I don't even remember, but might have been the 7D, because I worked a lot with the 7D with the 105 macro from Sigma, cheap stuff.
Yep.
But I didn't want to buy a Canon. That's, you will not believe it, but the most question the people ask me, what photographing equipment do you use? They don't ask me, I don't get hundred thousands of emails or questions, but the most one on Instagram, TikTok, today, what are you using? What kind of photographing equipment? When we have been in Ewan's Pond, right? We went just with the phones. I have an iPhone, but you cannot make this with an iPhone. That's not possible. You need a really good lens. That's the point. Should I show you? I can make a photo workshop if you want, because that's. I made that, but I made it separate for men and for women, because there's a very different understanding there. The women brought me cakes, and we had a nice sit together. We took time to photograph. The men came, they wanted to do the thing, go home. But the women, I had like 7 cakes. They brought me 7 cakes, and we had a nice, and we did photographing. So it's important that if you take photos, the most important, Rupert, is that you have good light. The light, if the light is not good, Rupert, I even don't start photographing. Even also in nature, when I see the light is not good, I go back to sleep. You understood? Good. Maybe I have an old photo that I can do. Do you like photographing? Maybe. Good, let's see. And then we go to the pincers so that you see it close. It's not very sharp because I have these photos on my computer, and yesterday I didn't know even about what I will talk. So I just chose this from one of my old tiny little files. But here you can see the mouth parts, and what is very important for a shrimp with this, it picks up the food, and they work all the time. You see these little hairs there? And that is very important when they pick up food, because sometimes when for example, when planaria is in the aquarium, you know how slimy they are? And when they do this all the time, and the planaria are on the rocks and they have this slimy thing, it can happen, and I observed that on video also, that they could not move these bristles, hairs anymore, and they could not pick up stuff. And then they died. And you know what happened then? Who comes and eat it? So, I have not read it anywhere. Maybe we can do some research, Connor, about this to find out. But I observed it a lot, that the shrimp got weaker and weaker, and then the planaria attacked them. So this is nothing scientific, it's just my observation. So I have to go into that. And here's another photo so you can see how they really are, because usually, meanwhile, I would need glasses to look at them so close up. And here also a picture of the pleon. It's not an abdomen. Who is saying abdomen? Nobody. Good. So it's pleon. Why this pleon? Because, for example, a spider has an abdomen, right? Why? Because there's no legs attached to it. That's an abdomen. And usually, even in literature, they put it wrong. And I'm always, we have kids, I cannot say it, but I'm not happy about that, because a pleon has these little swimmerets attached to it. So it's not a pleon. That's why I want to show you how many eggs we see. Rupert, count them. Quick.
Too many.
That's a good answer. And this is how it looks when they have the babies. And these are like Avatar babies, the blue ones. You remember that movie, Avatar? So this is how they hold them. Everything okay? You're not happy with?
No, it's just amazing.
Is that a real photo or is that
No way.
AI?
I will never use AI. Never.
That's
This
true.
is out of my, you will never see me on YouTube using AI, Instagram, nothing. I will not do that.
I don't want to go into photographics, but are you also using like a macro attachment? So you can. Are you using a macro attachment? So you can see these
Yes, I have extension rings.
Yes, that's the one.
That's
Yeah.
very important if you want to go that close
That's what I
up.
was thinking. Yes.
Because I also, what I don't
couldn't
like,
do that on my iPhone.
huh?
I couldn't do that on my
No.
iPhone without that.
No, you cannot. And these rings are important to go very close, but you will lose light. You have to know that. So that's why then you have to put much more light on the animal. And it's very important if you anyone photographs here? Okay, let's talk about photography then. To be honest, I have no idea about photographing. I don't know how a camera works. I'm just like, no, I have no idea. Zero. That's why it took me 20 years to find that out, how these things work.
Chris, do you know what an f-stop is?
Who?
An f-stop?
No?
No, don't know what an f-stop is? Okay.
To get more light in.
No, I just do it like that because when I have these extension rings, I put the flash more strong. And I always put the flash in a angle of 45 degrees. Why? Because then I don't have shadow under the shrimp. So then I have it, and also it gives me more depth because when you flash it from the front, it's like a flat picture, and I don't like that. You need to have depth. Plus, when I photograph shrimp, I don't like to have stuff around it, distracting from the shrimp, because the most important when you photograph is the object, nothing behind. The best is if you have a flat, and that's why I use one plant that I will tell you the secrets, because it should not be, education should tell all the secrets, because we should not keep it for ourselves. We should tell the people what we do to have a better understanding and have success and be happy with it. I use Vallisneria and no other plant, or very rarely, because it gives a more homogenic picture in the background, Vallisneria, or here too, Vallisneria. And there you have on focus exactly what you know. Nothing distracts from it. And that's why it's so important. And the picture has, are you sleeping? You are comfortable, it's warm in your jacket. Put the cooler on, this guy is like, asleep. But about what should I talk? Tell me. He's asleep already. It's like, so, and here we have another shot. Also background is Vallisneria, but this is the tail zone. It's the fan tail. Tail zone, 5 segments. Just that you understand close up how it looks. Any questions? More about photography? Yes, sir?
I think you get him to hold still for long enough.
Somebody needs to translate me. This slang is so... Ah, okay. Okay. You know, in the past, people, sometimes you have such a... I talked to Brett yesterday and said, oh, I struggle to understand. But it's Germans, yeah, what can you do? In the past, some people asked me if I glued them. And I said, what? It was a discussion in the forums. People, I saw them talking to each other like, I know that Chris is gluing them. And I said, what? If you put glue them, they will just jump out of the tank. No, it's a trick too. Males, difficult to photograph. That's why I don't like, no, honestly, it's not a joke. I'm German, I don't make jokes.
Oh yeah, national no sense of humor.
You know that. We are not known for making jokes. We are engineers, but we don't have any humor.
Which is funny.
That's not funny.
No, it is.
I don't want to be funny. It's funny?
Yeah.
I need to
Nice
change
to
something.
see
It's like, I don't want to be known to make jokes.
Everything is funny.
Okay,
The more serious you are, the funnier it is.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm bad German.
That's a strategy.
Right? Bring me home. No, that sounds terrible too. No, so where was I?
The fan. And how you keep it still.
Ah, I can see. So I don't glue them. Yeah. But the males on, yeah, was there. There I was. You got it wrong. You have to pay attention, my boy. Ah, good. So the males usually are very hectical. They always try to that's typical male. We're never happy. We go from one place to other. But the females, once they are relaxed for 10-15 minutes, they sit still. When they are fed, typical, right? They're fed, have the TV, we are sitting still. Similar with the shrimp. Netflix, yeah. Similar with the shrimp. So I love to photograph females because the females are much more calm than the males. And this is an observation after I photographed how many shrimp? 1 million? Something around that, really. So I can tell you, females are much more easy to photograph. When they are in bed, when they have babies, sometimes they try to hide because somehow the females, when they have babies, they try to escape. Is that right?
Yeah.
So take sows that are not with babies, and they will sit still. Sometimes I use a little stick. I put it in the water to push it when she's relaxed because I want to have it in a nice position. That's why I made the flag photos. You know my flag photos? I made the German flag, I made the Austrian flag, like 3 shrimps, and it's not AI or nothing. I just push them with a little stick in the right position, and I could make all kind. I made the French. You should check on the internet. You will find all these flag photos, but they are real. They are not put together in Photoshop because I will not do that. That's not good for my name.
What's the purpose of those spikes and little fans?
Those spinies. Maybe I could imagine. Maybe if a fish want to eat them. I don't know, honestly. This is something I want to tell you. I don't know everything. I'm still learning. Yeah? So, I have not asked maybe I have, but I forgot. But maybe, if a tiny fish wants to eat them, I saw that in crayfish, for example. Just recently, in New Zealand, when I was there a couple of days ago, an eel tried to grab a Paranephrops crayfish, which had also spines. Immediately he let go because it was like he tried to grab it, he had these spines, the eel let go, and the crayfish disappeared. So, but this counts for little tiny baby fish, but a big fish will just snack them. And here's another picture from a very beautiful shrimp. You probably know what I'm talking about. The experts there, Connor, you know what this is. He saw every photo. He told me before I started my talk, I've seen everything. Nothing new for you yet? Oh, God.
Wow.
Yeah, so these are types that you just see in the close-up because the shrimp look more brownish and you see maybe some red, but you need to have like the Superman eyes to check that. That's why I made some close-up photos so that you see what is out there. But sometimes when I photo and go close-up, you see also that they have parasites. And that's Scutariella. So that's a flatworm, as you can read, and I have an article about it in Breeders and Keepers magazines. And here you see the eggs. Usually you don't see that because, you know, wild-type shrimp have not these kind of colors. They would have been picked out immediately by a predator, by a fish. So in the wild, you can see on the shrimp if there's predators in the creek or not, because then they have a different coloration. They try to camouflage. So a lot of neocardina that I saw, they were like black, but they had a yellow stripe on top. Because the leaves, they are also outside dark, and they have this thing that goes through the leaf. What is it called, Brett? You are a botanist, you know?
Vine.
Exactly. So maybe it's that. So just to show it, the Scutariella is here on top. You see it? This little, it's not really well, it's a parasite when they are there, but up there, not anymore. So you have that in your tanks, these kind of things, Scutariella? Sometimes, right? So maybe I should not talk about it because we'll call the government and say this is a pest. Kill them all. Yes, sir?
Chris, with the crayfish that we find in the wild, they often have...
Temnocephalids.
Yeah. Is there an equivalent for shrimp?
The temnocephalids are a commensale, what means that they are not really parasite. They just sit on them, they don't harm them. But if they get in the gills, that could make it difficult for the crayfish. I found crayfish with bread. I showed you that video where it was nearly covered with it. That could be probably a bit difficult for the crayfish. I don't think it will kill it, but that's the more close to these guys. It's a little bit of advertising because I have to feed my children too. You know Shrimpkey? Okay, we have to work on that. Somebody's calling. Oh, it's me calling. Hang on. Why I'm calling somebody? I have it in my pocket. Jesus. I'm in Australia. This will cost me a lot of money. I have to close it. It's still ringing. Jesus. I will just close it. I will ring somebody off the bed. I don't know. How is it closing? Shut up. Close it. Hang on. Because this is a long distance call. And I cannot close it. No, just close it. I call the police and they will think somebody abducted me in Australia. Okay, power off. I found the button. It's because when you have many phones, I always need to check first what phone is it, how this shuts down. So, Neocardina. The good thing is with the Neocardina, we have very good quality in Europe. I think that the shrimp we can get in Europe, that's great. We import a lot of shrimp meanwhile. You know, many years ago in the 90s, when it started, there was not that many possibilities. The Neocardina have not been so great, the colors, but meanwhile, I would say in Europe, Germany gets some of the best shrimp when it comes to Neocardina. The shrimp come from Taiwan, and the reason why they have these great colors is because they breed them in ponds outside, in the sunlight. And that's so important for great color. I told you, so I called somebody.
They're calling you back.
But I closed it. Power off. Over. That was my ex-wife. No, laughing. It was. I talk to her every day. She's my best friend. My ex-wife. Like, what are you? Yes. Yeah. Right. Right. Correct. She's my best friend. So let's go back to shrimp. Where was I? With the great colors. So we have some fantastic colors with the Neocardina.
Is that your phone over there, Chris?
What?
Oh, is that your bag? That's ringing.
That's the problem when you have two phones.
Wait, why do you have so many phones? What do you
It's the shrimp kit, yeah, it's shrimp kit.
For a second, I thought you said like the shrimp are falling. Oh, what are you talking about?
Close it. It's over. It's done. So we need to talk about shrimp. Now it's over. Now the video is over. I mean, come on. I wanted to show you some nice Neocardina, too much.
Wow, that's nuts.
So these come from farm. This is also something interesting. Look at that, how many there are. And you can see great quality shrimp, especially in the yellows. We talked about this. The black ones are still okay. This is a new one, Sapphire. But you see great shrimp when you see that the yellow shrimp are really good color. And in Australia, I have not seen that yet. I mean, I've seen a lot of shrimp in Australia, but I have not seen amazing quality.
Well, we have a lot of sunlight, not now, but
Yeah, but no one keeps their shrimp in ponds outside.
that's why.
Yeah, so in that, we have to work a little bit. But Connor is breeding, and he showed me some really interesting stuff. The problem is you cannot get them in the country. If you said I have a shipment from Taiwan, they will put them on your salad maybe, but you cannot keep them in your aquarium. But for that shrimp take over the hobby like they did in Europe. Now I guarantee you, in Europe, everyone that has an aquarium has shrimp. Even the guys with plecos and with big fish, they have some shrimp in there because they're great, they clean up great and all that. So have you seen these ones? They are, oh, come on.
Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Chris Lukhaup.
Oh, shut up.
Hello and welcome to my...
Shut up. So this is a new, relatively new breed. It's a green really, and you see that it's relatively new because they have a high variation in color. So they're not that selective bred. That happened, you remember when the Rillies came in, the red Rilly, it was like a chaos. There were different types, but now the Rillies are red, white, or transparent and red. This is what is considered a Rilly today. And here you can see with this strain that they start selling them, but they're still not the typical Rilly. They are still like a mix of different types, which I think is great because now you have the chance to develop your own you can pick, you go to the wholesaler and pick 20 that look similar and start breeding. I remember when the green ones came in, I saw at least 20 to 30 different greens with patterns and this and that, because they started selling them no matter what. And then later, they all look the same, which I regret, because you can make at least 10 different strains out of the greens, like the petrol green, the light green, the yellow green. And this, yeah, this is one of the latest Neocardina. You have them in? You should know? They're still not here. Okay. And then another one came in. This one, oh, I have to put them. I learned. These ones came in. This was about 1.5 years ago in Germany. They came from Taiwan, from Skyfish. And I believe that this is the future of Neocardina. Multiple colors. Because you know how the girls are, they want to have many colors in one. So, but also these guys are not stable, so you can see they bred some and then they sold them already. And there you have the chance to pick and create lines. Unfortunately, you cannot bring them in, so, but I just wanted to explain it. They are called sunburst shrimp. And I just want to show you the variety in the sunburst shrimp that there is. So at least here you have 3 colors, right? I mean, if you count the transparent also. But I have to give the credits to Sunfish, to Skyfish. It's a very famous breeder in Taiwan. He was the one that bred the boas. You know about them? And here you can see. So this is far away from being stable. And maybe he needs, like you, Connor, 7 years more to really breed a lot in a line. But then he can pick, he makes these ones or the ones with the transparent. And he can make several lines. But I believe that in the future we will have multicolored Neocardina. Koi, sunburst, whatever you want to call them. And this was the first shipment that arrived to Germany. I went there and made a film to have it also documented. How they came in, how are they in 5, in 8 years, and so on. Because I was the first one who photographed shrimp. So I have pictures from the 90s with the first blue tiger, the first crystal reds that came in. So I can tell exactly how this developed. And this is Aquarium Dietzenbach, my friend, where I can always go and pick whatever I want and it don't cost me. So that's a great thing. That's wonderful because I can just pick how many I like or what I like. Yeah. Also, this took, I think, 20 years to develop these ones. They are Neocardina palmata. You remember they were called snowballs, or I called them 20 years ago white pearl.
Yeah.
But they have been more transparent. But it took them 20 years, we talked about that today, Connor, to develop this more whitish, like more dense white. Why? I believe that it was because there have not been that many around. So they got a little bit like they forgot about them. Maybe one breeder tried, then he gave up. But the industry didn't ask for them. Once they are there, they are a top seller. In Europe, they are a top seller and people pay money for them, and a lot of money, just because it is something new. But it's a Neocardina also, and you are breeding also white ones, right? But Caridina. You should check them out. So of course, I was also the first one that put all the colors together because I'm an artist, I like to have it. And then the people ask me, so what will happen after half a year when you put all the colors together? Yes, I will have transparent shrimp, but I will give them away or put them in a fish tank, and then I will start new and get me some free shrimp from Aquarium Dietzenbach, and I will have a colorful tank again. Because when these guys breed, red, yellow, everything, 99% is back to wild color because of genetics. So they go back. I have a video on YouTube. If you're interested, you can check that out. Something new now also is the ones really with the backstripe. They are new. Have you seen them? Maybe in the really it happened once in a while, but now they have thousands. So this happened like I think half a year ago, and also in yellow. And I call this the top. It's like the crusted, creamy, or saddled. You know, every breeder puts other names to his shrimp because every breeder has, like, he wants to create his own line. And then we have, like, with the blue dream, you have sapphire, you have, how many blue names do we have out there? It's like 50. And I think we should put some order in there and to have just one name. Another new trend that you might have heard of is the neo orange eyes. And I just photographed them like a couple of 3 months ago maybe. So this is now the big trend in neos. Wow. And they are very expensive. You don't like them? Look at your face like, oh, you don't like them? Okay. Bred by a German guy, his name is Michael Hessler. And we have, of course, the red one. I just show that you can look how dense the color is. But I will tell you something. Because Aquarium Dietzenbach gets shrimps a lot, like 160,000 in one shipment. So there's always some that have orange eyes. There's even some that have white eyes, silver eyes. So if you go to a wholesaler and you have, like in one aquarium, 4,000 or 5,000 shrimp, and you have 10 aquariums with 4,000 or 5,000 shrimp, you always will find some that have different eye coloration. But Michael did it so it's stable, so good for him. He's a nice guy. And this is the Neocardina collection that I photographed over the years. We have the wild type up there. I photographed several wild types. Yellow. You see, that is a good colored yellow. Below, I will not accept. That's third grade stuff or low grade. So it has to be a really nice, densely colored. And here we have the different types of blue dream, black carbon, blue dream really, which is not stable yet. Ice blue, have you ever seen them? I believe that they are not very healthy because I think that the ice blue have muscle necrosis. And that's why they look ice blue, because the white, the white white in the background and the blue in the foreground, the color makes it look ice blue. So I'm very critical about that. In fact, I should look at that if that's the case, but I really believe that. You think too? Okay. And look at this one, this especially. This could also be a new line here at this guy's, Black Onyx OA. Have you seen those? Oh, finally something new for you too. So sorry, after like 40 minutes. And then the reason why I'm into shrimp, I fell in love with these guys. That was in the 90s. I will take a drink. Prost. How you say in Aussie land?
Cheers.
Cheers.
That's so simple. You see, again, he won. He's the one that gives the right answers today. Cheers, mate. And if you have bloody, it's even better. Because, so the crystal reds, that was in the 90s. And they have been bred by a guy called Suzuki. He was the one that picked, he told me, he had like 10,000 of the black and white ones, and there was a red and white one in there. And you know what? I saw reddish and white in the mature also. Every 500 shrimps was reddish and white, so he was lucky. So he put out, in that times, the industry in Hong Kong, you're from Hong Kong, so these guys that went to the creeks, there's 3 creeks in Hong Kong that have the black and white ones, the wild form of the crystal red. They told me they put out in the time of like 3-4 years, $5 million just catching the shrimp and selling them. And when I went, I was the first white person, I would say, or Western person that was allowed to see that habitat. I will show it to you. The creek was nearly empty. There was nearly no more shrimp. They took them all out. And of course, what can I say? This is Mr. Suzuki, a funny guy, Japanese guy. I didn't speak Japanese, and he not German or English. But anyway, I understood what he told me. Isn't that amazing? Mr. Suzuki is breeding also beautiful mosses. Advertising again. What? Advertising? You have this food in Australia?
Some of it, yes.
You have never seen it, Connor. You see, they have seen it. Something new for you again. I told you, I have some new things for you too. So this is the habitat of the, and I was really excited to go there because they kept it like a secret for so many years, because even they poisoned streams that others could not take shrimp out of there. They closed the whole creek to kill everything before anyone should discover them. What you see here is the typical habitat. A lot of oxygen in the water because they have these little waterfalls. Water is cool, mosses, leaves. Water temperature when I was there was 15, 16 degrees Celsius. So you can keep these shrimp, I will put this away, without heating. What they don't like is when it's too warm. They don't like that at all. What the shrimp do here, they feed all day. They feed on
Biofilm.
biofilm. And what is in the biofilm? What we have there? Fungus, for example. That is something very important for shrimp. Bacteria, fungus. So that's why you should always have leaves in your aquarium, in the shrimp tank. And Mr. Suzuki was the one who told me, for example, that little baby shrimp are territorial. They don't go too far out of their range. So that's why baby shrimp is so... I want to sell Shrimp King, yes, but I know that it makes sense because I will not make anything that doesn't make sense. Because when you put the granules in the water, they spread all over. And the baby shrimp, if they are territorial, and you have a bigger aquarium, they don't go from one corner to the other. They will starve to death. And also, you agree? Yeah. So, and also when you put big pellets, which is okay for big shrimp or the sticks, but the babies will not come there. Because, if, for example, if you have Amano shrimp, they take the whole stick and go with it and they're gone. They don't share. These egoistic freaks. not you, but the Amano shrimp. So, and you will see the Amano shrimp, I will show you a film, they can get big like that. You know what the age is of the Amano shrimp that they can reach? Christopher, what is the age? Guess. We are on film. Hey.
5 years.
Oh, wrong.
No.
What is the age of the shrimp? 3. Are you kidding me? Amano shrimp. One last guess. Because it's late. I want to go sleep. What? 15? No. 21 years.
What? Oh, they can drink.
What they can drink?
Whiskey.
Whiskey.
Alcohol.
No, I have shrimp in alcohol, but for science. Or for the cocktail, shrimp cocktail. Have you heard of that? You know, my Isidora always joked when 2 shrimp meet and they go to a cocktail party, leave the kids alone, and the babies will ask themselves, you think our parents will come home if they go to a cocktail party because they will end up in the drink? Isidora's jokes. Prost. Are you tired? I can give you myself and you can play with it. No? So, where was I? So in this, if you have any questions, because, for example, Amano shrimp, and I will show you, they need a lot more protein. If you have, for example, Caridina or Neocaridina babies with Amano shrimp, it can good happen that the Amano shrimp go after the babies because they love protein. That's why with Shrimp King we have protein, Shrimp King protein, because the Amano shrimp, and you can read it in studies, they need more protein than any other shrimp. We talk about grading of shrimp. You know, in the past we had just a K0. They're typical crystal red. What time we have, Brad? We have to go home? Oh, okay, good. Oh, I have a lot to tell to them. I have to go more fast. I will speed up. So, we had the system back then, you know it. What was the system 20 years ago? What grading we had? Who knows it? Exactly. But I didn't feel very comfortable with the S, because first was S, then was SS, and as a German I'm like, SSS, double SS, and I was like, no, I cannot do that. I can, honestly, I thought I cannot do that, because S, SS, and then SSS, what? Where are we going? SSSS for S. That doesn't make sense, right? You agree? You're Australians, you are logical thinkers. No, you definitely, you are out. You definitely not. But that's why we have this system, which I think is much better. It leaves also space to breathe, the K system. You have the K0, K2, K4, makes sense, right? It's getting better and better and better. And the end, the holy grail was the K15. And then they had it, and then it was not good enough. It's like always, because they tried to breathe even more white into the pure red line, and it was the wrong way to go, because they got worse shrimp, you know? And pure red line means that the line don't have other shrimps interbreed with. And we have the same thing in black. I don't know if I have the photo here. So I went to Taiwan and I looked at the shrimp. You have pure black line. This is very rare to have good pure black line. Have you ever seen good pure black line? No. Me neither. I have seen nice looking shrimp, but they have not been pure black line. Because when I did a close-up photo, I could see that they are shadow shrimp. The Taiwan shrimp, you call them Taiwan, I call them shadow shrimp. And they always had some blue in it. And that tells me they are not pure black line, because the black bees, they don't have the blue gene. The blue gene comes from another species, so it tells me it is a crossbreed. I will come to that. I will tell you how that happened. So, and then we have the super, I call them, like 20 years ago, super crystal red, because nobody wanted them. I gave them a new name, super crystal red, and suddenly the price went from €1 to 15. That's called marketing. That's marketing, right? So, and then these came up the triple, the double, the single line. I find them beautiful. They are also called Santa shrimps or something, but I will always call them super crystal red. Somebody of you has the super crystal red here? Nobody. Yeah, and then came the so-called shadow shrimp, king kong, panda, and all these shrimp. And I was interested, how did this happen? These shrimp are a crossbreeding between Cardina logimani, the bee shrimp, right? Or the black and white one, crystal red, and the tiger shrimp. They are a crossbreeding. So I call them shadow shrimp because they have 2 layers of coloration. That's why shadow, one on top, one behind, and depending on the grade, you will see more blue or black and white. That depends on. In the past, they wanted to put even the blue bolt away and said, it has just 1 layer, we don't want it. But I said, you cannot do this because it's the most wanted, in fact. The normal people like that one. So here we have, meanwhile, I wanted to grade them. I wanted to do this job, but then look what happened. Freestyle. I just said, I give up, it's freestyle, do whatever you guys like. You see how many? They're all beautiful, but you cannot grade them anymore. It's over with the grading. In the second breeders and keepers, I tried to do that. I gave up. In the third, I even put it out. And the same, of course, we have it here. And the more white they lost, the more the blue came out. And so, in fact, the grading got worse and worse and worse, but they're beautiful shrimp. So, nice to have them. Oops. Sulawesi, total different thing. Sulawesi shrimps, I told you about them already. They need to have a different environment. There's so many beautiful wild type species. Have you ever seen Cardina spongicola there? Have you seen it? Good. 3 new things for you today. I'm happy. And these shrimp, they need to have warmer water, at least 27, 26 degrees. We can go 26, but they need the salts, the shrimp salts. Without them, to be honest, I don't know anyone who succeeded to breed them. We have them, the salts from Shrimp King, Sulawesi. It's not, yes, it's also like we sell these salts, but we sell them because we want that you succeed. Otherwise, it will be very, very difficult. Any one of you is breeding Sulawesi shrimp?
Someone.
Madam, come here. Let's talk about it. You can talk about your trauma too, but that's you, the trauma. That's all the man here, don't worry. You have been married, divorced?
Yeah, absolutely.
See, we all have trauma.
We're separated with this friend.
I didn't understand what you said, but
We're separated, that's right.
like me and my Isidora, isn't that great? Let's talk about it later.
Yeah.
We can find things in common. Madam, you breed Sulawesi, how you do it?
Yes, Sulawesi salts.
That's what I wanted to know.
7.5.
So, you tried without the Sulawesi salts?
I did. I tried with GH, KH salt and Tang to buff the pH up a little bit. Not stable enough.
See, it's not that I'm telling you that, Jesus Christ, get out of my way here, you little bloody whatever. I'm trying to be Australian. So, bloody hell, that's a good, yeah. So, you see, you need these salts to succeed. So it's not that I want to, I would give them to you for free, but he wants to make some money, so. Who? They have it? I have to give him thanks, he's feeding my children, that's good. Oh, he's friends with me?
You went out the other day in Sydney.
Mats? Everybody who sells shrimping is my friend. He's feeding my 7 children. So, that's the point. You can mix it, the water, very easily with the salts, and then you have the bacteria, because the salt is the food not for the shrimp. It's the food for the bacteria that grow and for the fungus and all that the shrimp need. Okay? Because the shrimp, they don't, for example, minerals. We have Shrimp King mineral. They don't eat it only and take it. They can also take it through the gills and can take minerals from the water, but that's just a tiny little part. Most of it they take through the food. Any questions about that? You guys are so easy. I thought there would come some really hard questions I have to think.
That's
No,
later.
have to. I described, look here, I described, where is it? The one that I described after my kitty. I have one described after Maya, and she was not very happy with it. She was, in fact, I don't want that. She said, I don't want the species described after me. So I described one after my boy. You take the name? Her name is Maya. You want to be named Maya? Ruperti then. And then I told you there came so many new things in that it was like too late. Look at these orange eyes, or the calcio. Look at this one. That's 4-color Carolina. And then the absolute, like, blew me away was the, where is it? Where's it going?
Did a flip.
Ah, there's a flip. That one. 3-colored Caridina. Amazing. Or these ones here. Amazing. Have you seen these guys? Nothing new for you, I know. Orange tiger. And here you will have something that I found really amazing. The dancing man. Look at these guys dancing. It was called Dancing Man. Here, the Driton Cellini line, nobody had shrimp like him with these color forms. I have not seen it anywhere else. The boa was a big thing. They sold for $6,000. A piece? Yes.
What?
Yes. You know how expensive was the most expensive shrimp? Guess. Not that much, but how much is your car?
I don't know.
What?
No, I actually don't. It's second hand.
Anyway, it's not cheap.
No, it's
You don't know how much you paid? Was it a present?
It was a present.
It was actually a present.
Yeah.
I believe you. So, how much is it? That's very nice of you for environment. But you don't have, you're also environmental.
I was 30,000.
30,000. Okay, no, 10,000 was the most expensive shrimp. Sold in Japan at the auction for a. Where are we? We're already far. What happened? Look, the metallic.
Oh,
This
my.
was the thing that I thought, okay, you cannot go better than that. Metallic, maybe you can have a diamond shrimp, but metallic is the absolute killer. But, and here also comes photography into the game. Because I saw a lot of photos of metallic shrimp which have been half black and half metallic. You have to find the right angle if you photograph. And here also, the 45-degree angle coming in play. So I could photograph them and you could see that they are really metallic and not black and half metallic. If you shoot them from the top, you will have just half of the shrimp metallic. That's really, for me, we cannot go more than that, right?
That is ridiculous.
And look at the cells. They are different from the normal shrimp. What a beauty.
Amazing.
And here we see something that makes them so different. You look at the cells. Look what the different structures the cells have. I don't know where it comes from. I have no idea. How did this happen that they have... Any idea, Connor? We have to talk about it.
It's beyond belief.
Isn't that amazing? How? Alien. That's always the best explanation. If you don't know something, aliens.
Yeah, I agree.
Who built the pyramids?
Aliens.
You see, you learned. German. Very quick, we did it in 3 days.
No, the Chinese do.
You want to say something?
No, I just said efficient.
Ah. Sir? No? I thought I heard you talking, or was it to yourself because you like to listen to intelligent people? Oh.
So you said Aryan.
I'm German. It was a Freudscher Versprecher, you know. Look at the cells. Normal cells in a shrimp, and I photographed thousands, and suddenly this alien showed up. And this is a normal. Also, it's nice, beautiful, but just to compare, huh? Caridina, not Neocaridina. Unfortunately, I got this shrimp from a friend of mine, Nicholas Reich. He calls himself Rico Nico. That means the beautiful Nico. He's a very cute guy. So, also Caridina. And I believe that the 3 colored shrimps, Scott and Caridina, have a big future. He just needs to make them stable. But then, he already has a Porsche from just selling shrimp, can you imagine? But he's not the only one. When it was the first time in Japan, there was a guy who bred the red bees. He had a lot of beautiful cars, just selling shrimp, Ferrari and stuff. Because back then, the red bee shrimp, they sold for hundreds of dollars. And he had a whole room completely full with red bee shrimp.
Chris,
Yes, sir?
that fully metallic one that you showed us a few slides back, is that the shrimp that sold for 10,000?
No. After I went to the guys, a German in Berlin, a very nice guy, I made a live video. And as soon as the live video I ended it, his phone was like, bling, 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 bling. Amazing. I don't know for what they sold, but for sure, let's ask him. Alex, how much did you sell them? Put it down in the comments. I think over 1,000. When the shadow bees, the story of the shadow bees, you know how the shadow bees, they sometimes are called Taiwan bees. I don't believe that. I flew to Taiwan and I met 3 people who told me we have been the first one with the shadow bees, no joke. And I talked to everyone and I could see that's not a story. I believe that they come from Germany. This is how far I could get back. The woman that had them suffered cancer and she sold everything and somebody bought everything and then continued breeding. and took it to Taiwan. So in Europe they call them Taiwan shrimp, but I call them shadow shrimp because I'm not really sure that they have been bred in Taiwan. They did good work there with them, but they have not invented them. This is what I believe. I did my research, I flew to Taiwan, talked to people, I talked to German breeders. So yeah.
Chris, we had it back, what, 2015, 2017, Shrimp Club here in Melbourne, here at this event, was selling, there was a guy selling King Kongs, $500 each.
2004 there have been $500.
Yeah.
US.
2015, 2017, around that time, the Shrimp Club here, the Shrimp Club, we had a guy and he sold several of them. Yeah, $500 for
Congratulations. What can I mean?
They were as rare as anything at that time here in Australia.
I believe you because I did the first shrimp event in Europe and somebody came over from Taiwan and showed them and sold them and the people just paid them a lot. But they also made a lot of money with them. So I am happy for everyone that does money with them, that gets involved and is happy. Good for you guys.
Yeah,
Honestly.
I remember 2017 at the Shrimp Championship in the US.
You have been there with me, right?
The dancing
Man
that
from
was
Monica.
the first time, it was ever seen, I think, or shown.
I think I even brought it over. I don't remember then because Monica is a friend of mine and she did some great, she's a woman in shrimp, isn't that great? Like many other breeders. And look at this Caridina. It has 4 colors. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 colors. This is from a guy from my place, Stuttgart. And then you have Amano shrimp in Australia?
No. We
Good.
have a similar species, a similar large.
I was actually wondering, you said that once you get one type of shrimp in there, they eventually breed out and all become white or translucent?
Transparent.
That's correct?
Yes.
So then how do they maintain their value if they're, like, how can you be spending 500 if eventually you're not going
That's
to...
the Neocardina. What we are talking is Caridina.
Okay.
That's a different thing.
And what's the difference?
The difference, they are a different genus. So they are not the same species, they're just a very different species. They cannot interbreed. Caridina and Neocardina nearly never can crossbreed. It's like a buffalo and a horse.
Sorry, you said nearly. Do you have a known case of...
Yes, one. I photographed it.
Oh.
And that I'm not sure, so that I will not publish that.
Oh,
I'm not sure. I think that it was like that, but I cannot prove it, so I better don't mention it. But in the Caridina, for example, you have a lot of crossbreeds. All the shadow shrimp that you see are crossbreeds. And if you put a tank full with Neocardina and Caridina, the Neocardina will take over and the Caridina will lose. Because in nature, when you go to nature and see where the Neocardina are and where the Caridina are, the Neocardina are in the more down parts where there's a lot of food available, the water is warmer, they sit there comfortable. The Caridina had to move up the headwaters and they sit there, not because it's nice and cool water, because they had to. They were like pushed to the higher headwaters because there's less food there, also less predators. So the Neocardina, they reproduce much faster because they have predators there, they have to. Caridina, usually up there, not too many fish. So there's a pro and con, like Brett would say in your last video on YouTube. Pros and cons, I read that. You follow him on YouTube? Please do. Because he needs some support, he has to build another fish room, which is okay. And if you come to the Mano shrimp, we talked about it, the age, yeah, but they can get pretty big. They can get really big. So you have something similar in Australia, but you don't have a Manos.
Australis, I think. It's Springa Australis or something of that nature. It's
Okay, but not real Amanos.
No.
I can skip them then. We are done with Amanos, I will just go to the next. Because I found a shrimp here in the trade that I don't know what it is. I found it at the place of...
Fish shop,
Yeah, and they're tiny, they're called chameleon shrimp, and nobody can tell me what it is. Who of you knows what it is? What species is it? I need the Latin name.
It's Caridina.
For sure?
It's not Ceratostris, it's the other one.
No, it's not Ceratostris, I checked it.
Yeah.
They are like 1 centimeter and they have babies already, so it's a really tiny species.
Give me 2 minutes.
I'll give you 2 minutes. I'm counting. German, sorry. And they don't reproduce in freshwater, blah, blah, blah. I skip it because it's not interesting for you. We have even orange ones. We have yellow ones now too. And look how big they are compared to the, oh, come on, apple. And this is not fully grown, this guy, or this lady. And they're just brutal compared to Neocardina. Just run over the kids. And this is the habitat, typical habitat. Very not far away from the sea, 30% salt, and you can breed them. But you don't care because you don't have them.
We have a similar species here in Australia that requires the
Urohaline,
yeah.
You have a lot of species that require salt water, like Ceratostris,
Yes.
Gracilipes, but you have also beautiful black and white ones. But I will not tell you the location because otherwise you will all go there and pick them out.
What's the longest one that we've got?
Longirostris.
Yes, quite
Yeah.
literally.
Well,
Sorry. Just for the record, the chameleons haven't officially been identified in Australia. They're often labelled in the right circles as WA4. So they don't have an official...
I bought some. It's the first time in 20 years that I bought some shrimp. Can you imagine? And I would like to know and understand what it is. Are we in time or should we close the business? When you're ready, that means pretty quick. Okay. We have the fan shrimp too, and you have beautiful, I will go quickly because we have to finish. Different fan shrimp, different species, and this is the way how they grab to the rocks. That's why they can sit in the riffles and just filter.
Oh wow.
Ataya gabonensis, very big ones, you don't have them in Australia, right? Different types. Philippes, Scabra, and this one is really nice.
Couldn't tell you.
It's from Taiwan. From Cuba, I photographed these guys, they're tiny, they're like that. Filter feeding shrimp, Podmerium micrataya, OE is the name of this one. And you have something in Australia too. Look at this. This is a shrimp I found in Sydney. It's a filter feeding shrimp. Beautiful green, golden top. Nice. I will not tell you where because you will go there. Yes. Really? Australataya.
Annoying, very hard to raise. What time? Very hard to film.
I like it a lot. I was very happy to film it. So I will skip. We have the third group I wanted to introduce you. We have this in Australia too.
Macro breaking.
Look at this guy. I had it in my tank, in my studio, music studio, and I was so proud because the guitar player of Michael Jackson, a woman, Jennifer Batten was her name. She came and she told me she has also an aquarium, so we started talking. I had like 5 of these guys in the tank, and the crayfish that was also in the tank started molting, and the shrimp went, and she was so shocked. She said to me, "Chris, I don't want that. I will stay with my dart frogs." She had also dart frogs, and I was like, well, shit happened. So there's a lot of beautiful stuff. We have to, Brett has to go to bed to sleep, and thanks a lot for coming, guys. I really appreciate that you show up. Brett told me all week. We still can talk, we can have like a talk, because I would like to tell you so much other stuff. I have a lot of secrets still. Thanks. Yeah, but we talk later with when it's midnight and stuff. So thanks a lot that you took me to your house and fed me and all that things that you, nice stuff. Thanks for you to coming. I appreciate that a lot. And let's make a shrimp championships in Australia. Yay. Who is for it? Who wants to do it? Yes. We will sponsor it with Shrimp King. Yeah, thanks a lot, guys. Thanks.
Just so the pizza doesn't get too cold, we'll do the raffle while you guys are eating pizza. But firstly, Chris, just a certificate of appreciation. I'll put it in a poster tube so you don't smash the frame on the way home on the plane.
Nice.
But thank you for coming and speaking at the club.
Doctor needs to go to a
Yeah,
doctor.
doctor.
Not kidding, because I count myself.
We can't put what I've been calling you on the certificate. So, yeah, no, thank you so much,
Thanks
mate.
a lot.
Thank you. We'll make sure that everybody jumps up, get some pizza into them, and we'll start reading out raffle tickets. I'll get Chris to select them out of the bag at random. If you hear your number, please come forward. And every random envelope, we'll call out that it's going to be for an envelope, and this is for shrimp that's been donated from Connor and their high-grade Neos. So if you don't want to have shrimp sent out, Connor's also donated his postage for this, so give Connor a little bit of a round of applause. Probably leading the field in the shrimp that are being produced at the high levels in our state. In South Australia, really. So a great effort by him. Listen out for your number, get some food into you, and again, Chris, thank you very much.
Thanks.